What is one of the best tools as a driver on really any food delivery app that isn't really talked about a lot? Think about the answer to that question, but can I first say, just between you and I, that driving in the rain kind of sucks. There, I said it. Driving in the rain here on Uber Eats here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Check out this order. It's $17.88. It's a stacked order, so it's 2 or more assignments for one driver. We got the black screen. It's really just on Uber Eats that we see this. Now, a quick hack, I have heard that you can close your driver app, you can go back in, and this would be resolved. Let me know if it does that for you. But take a look here. So 60 minutes on the quoted time to complete. That's a good amount of time for 17 bucks. And there's 2 different stops at these different restaurants. So for me, decline. So that order could have been a little risky. Maybe I restart the app, right, and try to see the entire route there. But again, a little risky. So I declined that one. And I mean, come on, I took another risk. I took a risk on this one, 1762. Now, I can see the entire route. We can clearly see the difference here. I can see the starting and the ending destination. And it's only 37 minutes for Wendy's. Now, why do I say I took another risk here? Do you know why? I can show you the order again here. So what? Why? Why is this order risky? It's only going to take 37 minutes. $17. Yeah, it's 2 pickups, but still 37 minutes. It should be because of the Wendy's. You have to know your marketplace driving on any of these food delivery apps. And I knew that this Wendy's is kind of a pain here in Pittsburgh because it's really the only fast food place in the immediate area, and it gets really slammed with cars. So much so that as I went to pull in, that the drive-through was really backed up to the road. And this actually happens more often than not, more often than you think. There were cars waiting in the road to turn in as well. Now, some of these restaurants will let you go inside, right, to make the pickup. And sometimes their in-dining area is open exclusively for just couriers. But I couldn't even get inside because of these cars. They were blocking the entrance. And again, the cars that were waiting to even turn in. So, circling back to the question that I asked you at the beginning of this video, what's one of the really tools you have as a driver that isn't talked about a lot, that's one of the most valuable tools that you have? It's cancellations. So canceling, you don't want to do it too much because you can and you will get deactivated really regardless of the app that you're driving for. Now, scenario number 1, if you have an emergency, if there's an emergency, you can certainly, and you should, unassign and cancel that delivery. Now, the remaining kind of reserves for when you should cancel, it's honestly scenarios like this. It's a massive time suck. There's no way that I'm sitting in the drive-thru that would have taken at least 15, 20 plus, probably more than that, probably 20 plus minutes to wait in that drive-thru. Now, the tricky point is you can't really feel bad as the driver. Maybe, kind of delaying that delivery to the customer. I know it's a tough decision, but you can't really feel bad. You're making the best business decision for you. Well, I say yes, make the smart decision, save your time. I would reserve your cancels for things like that. Nextly, 1702 for 68 minutes on this order. That's gonna take a little bit too long. I'm declining this one. Now, here's something where I'm willing to take the risk and invest a little bit more time. So this one, a payout of $26.28. That is guaranteed pay for this stacked order. So yes, it is taking longer, right? We can see it's quoted at 61 minutes, but when you're getting orders like this, it is a trade-off, and here's what I'm looking at. You need to look at, obviously, the dollars to mile ratio. How much am I getting paid for the miles driven? I like that, check mark. And then the dollars to time ratio. How much am I getting paid and how long is this going to take? 26 for an hour, I'm pretty happy with that. And then thirdly, the market knowledge. How busy? Is there a line? Am I familiar with this first pickup location? In this case, it's Sushi Fuku. Now, ideally, I want it to be from the same restaurant as well on stacked orders. I'm also considering things like the ending destination for positioning. Where is this going to put me as well? So for me, I'm accepting this one. Now, I knew I would have to do some kind of driving back into a busy zone here, but the cash flow, which is another strategy just to really bring in as much cash as possible, all of those things considered, I accepted this one. Okay, so stacked orders, right? 2 or more assignments for one driver. It's nice because there's already assignments. You already know where you're gonna go. You can get basically double the pay because you're managing 2 orders, but problems, of course, because there's always problems. So this one, again, it's a great payout, $22.96, a stacked order. I'm liking really, when I'm looking at this, if you can get a $10+ payout per order, so obviously, right, a $20+ payout on a stacked order, I like those. And again, everything we just reviewed on stacked orders, I accepted this one. Now the problem, and I've mentioned this before with stacked orders on Uber Eats, is you can only see the one pickup location. Now remember, if we see 3 dots on the order request screen on Uber Eats, that's our ideal, because that is the one restaurant with 2 drop-offs. If we see something like this order, there's 4 dots, so obviously there's 2 different pickups, and then of course the 2 drop-offs. But with Uber Eats, I can only see one of those pickups, so that's something to consider. And this one, I've had good experiences with this location, Pizza Parma, Shadyside. But the other restaurant location that wasn't shown was actually ignored on the first request that I sent you on this shift here, and yes, problems. So here's my pickups here. I have the first pickup at Yoshino, which the order wasn't ready. You're gonna have that as well. You can certainly mark that in the app, but I mean, we're talking like a 10-minute minimum wait time here. And then there's the Pizza Parma. So here's my question to you. DoorDash lets you really seamlessly switch tasks to basically reassign your order. So you could say, hey, you know, instead of picking up at this Yoshino, I'm going to assign myself to now pick up at Pizza Parma, and then I'll get the Yoshino. But you can't really easily do that on Uber Eats, not that I could see, really clicking everywhere on the app here. So here's a question for you. Would you just go to the Pizza Parma if you had to wait at the first location? And it is pretty close by. We'll say maybe 5 minutes away. Would you just go there and just leave the app saying the first restaurant? Or would you stay at the first restaurant and wait? This is actually, oddly enough, a tough decision because the way that these apps assign pickups is the second restaurant, in this case, Pizza Parma, are they meant to be the second pickup because they just got the request? And could you imagine if you got to the second restaurant and then they say, oh, we just got it, we're not even ready yet. So then you wasted your time going to the second restaurant, you get it, right? So again, on DoorDash, you can change that. On Uber Eats, not so much. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? What would you do in this scenario? Let me know down below. So I waited. Usually I will wait. I mean, I'm parked. I'm going to have to manage parking, drive over there, and I'm going to have to come back again to the first restaurant. So I did wait. I had to eat some time there, maybe a 10, 12-minute wait there. Well, after we finish that stacked order, we get another one here, a little bit lower on the pay here. This one, $12.94. Now, let me know if this next thing is a glitch. I'm not really sure what this is. I haven't really seen this before, but I was making a delivery. I'm on one of these stacked orders. Now, there's an 8-minute timer. If you're making a delivery and you can't reach the customer, what I like on Uber Eats, what I've been noticing now, is if you send them a text message, the customer, Uber Eats will automatically start that 8-minute timer to find the customer. But I finished that delivery and I still saw the timer showing here on the screen. I'm assuming this is a glitch because it wasn't counting down, it was frozen, but have you ever seen this happen? Could be a little confusing, so I wanted to ask you, let me know down below. Okay, so using our tools, right, which is something you have to do. Don't ignore the tools that you actually have here as a driver. So we canceled a really stacked order for that fast food restaurant. Had too much of a wait time. We had, well, speaking of wait time, right? We had that other stacked order with that long wait time. Should we bounce between other restaurants? So between this entire shift, let's see how much time this may have taken away from my entire shift insofar as the numbers. So this shift this afternoon was from 3 p.m. until 5 p.m. Now, kind of surprisingly, I earned a total of $68.89. That is an excellent gross revenue per hour of $34.45. Now, why is that? Look at the next numbers here. I completed 6 deliveries, so that is 3 deliveries per hour. That's pretty good. If you can do 3, maybe 4 deliveries an hour, that's a pretty dense shift insofar as orders per hour. But furthermore, I received 6 tips as well, and a really higher than average tip, $6.84 for the average tip. And generally my average tip is usually between the upper 3s, 4s, maybe low $5. So $6.84, that is a higher than average amount there. During this shift, really keeping it smart with the business miles, 23.2 business miles for a payout of $2.97 per mile. And I get a tax deduction of $12.99. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on wait times, on canceling, because those are some of the problems you absolutely will experience as a driver. And if you got value in this video, definitely drop me a like. And you can also click or tap the screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you. And I'll see you in the next one.